Hello everybody and welcome back to Combe Valley Campers.
Today we are going to show you how to insulate and how to
Hello everybody and welcome back to Combe Valley Campers. Hello everybody and welcome back to Combe Valley Campers. Come on. Head. Like when someone's trying to do play a game of golf. Anyway, right.
Ready?
This is very professional.
Oh no!
Tommy's gone.
Yeah. Hello everybody and welcome back to Combe Valley Campers.
Today we are going to show you how to insulate and sound deaden my van.
It's dead easy. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors, Howden's Modified Van Insurance. That's right, A-Plan are now Howden's. They still do exactly the same in that they will insure your van from the time you buy it until you completely convert it into a camper van and beyond. And if you want an exclusive rate on your next policy, please mention Combe Valley Campers and they will sort you out. So this is an element of the van conversion you've been wanting to do for a long time.
Yes, I cannot wait.
Why?
To make it quieter, more comfortable to drive. At the moment it's really loud. That's the main reason, and obviously because we do that, then we can do carpeting, panels, and the kids finally and the dog can go to the back.
Yeah. So keen to get the dogs and the kids out of the cab. And this is the first stage. It's not only the first stage of making the van more comfortable, but actually in the conversion itself. So what we've got in front of us today is the new range from Deaden, and it's known as the Dead Ezy range. What we have in front of us is a sound deadener, a liner, a fleece, and from the core range of the Deaden products, we actually have the Deaden Duo, and we're gonna go through all of that right now. So the team over at Deaden appreciate that building a van can be quite costly. And wherever you can, you not necessarily cut costs, but you're looking for better value items. And Deaden saw this in the market, they saw inferior products in the market, so they decided to create a new level of their sound deadening, which is targeted towards first-time van builders or van builders on a budget, and they've brought out the range in front of me. It still has all of the elements you require for a standard level of sound deadening, right? So all of the products we would normally fit in a customer's van, we have the sound deadening, the liner and the fleece, but what they've done is a more cost-friendly approach while still maintaining the values of what those items provide. So the sound deadening products stop the resonation of the panels. The liner is not only a sound absorber, but it's an insulator as well. And then the Eco Fleece, it's a lighter product and cheaper to buy, but it still provides the insulation in between that outer layer of the van and your ply panel, so you can fill those voids with an insulative product, much like a cozy sleeping bag. You want to fill your sleeping bag with down to keep you warm on the inside and keep the temperature outside, which is effectively what this EcoFill does. It wraps you in this nice thermal blanket, fleecy blanket. And today we're going to show you what all the products are and exactly how to fit them, the Dead Ezy range. So in a nutshell, it's a very cost-effective approach to first-time van converters or those van converters on a budget, but it's still providing all of the properties you require to make your van a more comfortable and better place, and you can't wait, right?
I can't wait.
And you're itching to get this done.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
let's get on with it.
Let's get on with it. I think we should just cut to some footage Ali and I filmed earlier today regarding the inside of the van and why we're actually doing what we're doing. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Roll the tape. So here we are in the van then, pre-sound deadened. And the aim of the sound deadening in this vehicle in particular, and that will go to your camper van, no matter what van you have, is we're trying to get rid of three main sources of noise. We have the booming and panel resonance of the larger panels in the van, so the doors, the sidewalls and the ceiling for the most part. We're trying to get rid of the mechanical noise, so drivetrain, tyres and things like that, and maybe even the panels moving slightly as you move. So mechanical noise, and then there's the vibrations, so that is the surface of the road you're travelling on. Wind noise to a point, so the panel resonance, the booming, the road vibrations and the mechanical, and using the different types of sound deadening that we have, and the closed cell foam, and also the thermo fleece insulator in a later video, will all help reduce those three types of noise and also insulate the vehicle at the same time. So what we're going to do now, I'm just on a regular dual carriageway, quite a smooth road right now. Ali's going to flip the camera in the back and we can hear the ambient noise of whilst we're driving before sound deadening. So that was the dual carriageway. We were travelling at, let's call it 55-60 miles an hour, and there is a drone, isn't there? You can kind of hear that ambient drone noise, and everything that we've discussed, be it the panel noise and everything else, will all contribute to that noise. And even just going over bumps now, the noises are quite pronounced. To make the base level experiment fair, do excuse me, sorry Al, there was a truck coming the other way and somebody barked. We're just going to go into a suburban area now, like a housing area, and you'll be able to hear the noise going over bumps, pulling out of junctions, etc., maybe even bumping over curbs. But the sound deadening is really important for all sorts of environments and situations, especially the dual carriageway when you're travelling far. We do a lot of miles when we're travelling, we spend a lot of time in Europe, so motorway, autobahns, etc., create a constant drone when you're at a constant speed. So we're trying to eradicate that, and it's a commercial vehicle. It's nothing special in terms of sound deadening. Certainly doesn't sound like a Golf, but that's kind of what we're aiming for. We are trying to make this vehicle a comfortable daily, a comfortable travelling vehicle, make it quiet, make it warm, and that's what this next couple of videos is going to be about. So here we are now, we're just driving through some sort of local streets, there's potholes, there's drain covers, etc., and there is a lot of boomy noise. And so if you are using your vehicle as a daily, and a lot of people are using vans as daily drivers now, doing the school run, going to the supermarkets, going from A to B in a commercial vehicle isn't a quiet job. They're designed to be a tool, a commercial vehicle. They're not designed to be luxurious. So what we aim to do today is to create that extra level of comfort, extra level of noise dampening, just to make this a nicer place to be on a day-to-day basis. So welcome to sound deadening and insulating your camper van then. And of course, do you know what? We were talking out there and now talking in here, and it sounds a bit boomy, doesn't it? It does. So that's one of the things we want to eradicate, is the boominess in here. And if I was to just do this really quick, that's what we're trying to avoid. Big flat panels in the van with no ridges in them like the floor or these wheel arches. All they want to do is vibrate. Now from the factory, VW used to stick sound deadening panels, and if you have an older van like a T5, T5.1, you will notice on these panels that Volkswagen did actually place in extra sound deadening. For some reason, the T6.1 doesn't have them. But what we need to do is fit products to stop that. I went into the video, the different types of sound noise. They are vibrations, vibrations and panel resonance, like that. So when the panel wobbles, you get this boomy knock or the boomy sound. There's mechanical noise from things like the engine and drivetrain, so they're making a noise, and then you've got the road noise as well, so the vibrations coming through the road noise. So we're going to use that range of products that we're just going to show to eradicate all of that. The first one we've got is the Dead Ezy sound deadening, and I should go and get that now, and we can talk about it. Mm-hmm. So this is the Dodomat Dead Ezy sound deadening sheet. It's aluminium foil backed butyl layer with self-adhesive backing that you stick onto the panel.
Okay.
And it's that easy. I know it's called Dead Ezy. It's called Dead Ezy for a couple of reasons. One, this is a slightly thinner panel, so it's easy to stick on and it's lighter. And also it has these embossed shapes in the back. So when you come to, say, doing a wheel arch, for example, the embossed shapes in it actually help you form it round. And I don't want to keep saying it, but it's dead easy to fit. You only need 2 tools, really. 2 tools in your hands to fit this product. And I'll do a demo?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. That's it.
But you don't leave it like that, do you?
We don't, no.
Yeah.
But just as a demonstration, it's that easy.
Yeah.
To make your life easier, you have a roller. And if you look, I've just slapped that on there now, and you can see that there's perforations, or there looks like little bubbles. So if I go over this with the roller, all around the edges, and we're not like really pressing into it, we've just got a nice steady pressure all the way round, just to make sure it's flat, all the edges are down, and that's stuck. Now, when it comes to sound deadening, and again, if you're on a budget, Dodomat recommend that you only require a minimum of 50% coverage on each panel. So if we're counting that as one panel, we're actually at about 80%. And if I already do this to this, there's already a difference. All right? Or let's try that again, because that was actually quite similar, because the panel's already on. But if I was to do this and this, there's a sound change. What we tend to do here is what the customer asks after our suggestions. And our suggestion is you cover as much as possible, because the more you put on, the quieter the van will be. Because you're not actually covering 100. If I was to cover this, every surface I can see, we call it 100% coverage, but in reality it's not 100% coverage, because I'm not getting in behind these panels, I'm not getting in behind here. So in terms of this whole panel itself, I'm covering, let's say, a maximum of 75%, which is why we tend to go in as much as we can on all the corners. Now, say you needed 2 tools. One is the roller, and one, I'm going to call it a cutting implement, because you can either use a knife or scissors, and it's all you need. Because when it comes to it, you offer up your shape. Say if I wanted to start up in this corner here and stick that on, okay, so I'll do that now. If I offer it up into this corner here, add the roller there, you can still see that there's, I think I've just sliced myself, there's still some areas there. And what I'm going to do is offer up the next sheet and use the lines as my reference. So, say for example, I'm going to mark there, because that's how much I need. Using the lines as my guide, we are kneeling on and using as a cutting mat this foam floor. Peel
And stick.
and stick. And it is that simple. And like I said before, it looks like 100% coverage, but it's not, because if you're taking this bar, this bar, this bar all the way to the back of the van into account, it's anywhere between 50 and 75% that we're doing. And again, let's do another test. Already made a huge difference. Our recommendation is you use the kit provided. We sell this as a bundle, links down below, and it's in the Dead Ezy range or the Deaden range, D-E-A-D-N, Deaden range. And we can supply it as a bundle for the size of your van, and it has got in it the amount of sheets and liner and fleece required to do 100% coverage within all your panels. Obviously, if you wanted to reduce the budget, reduce the weight anymore, then you can just do 1 sheet per. There is nothing wrong with that, but my advice to you is do as much as you can, because the more you put on over and above what the factory has provided, it's going to be a better result. So, first layer, Dead Ezy deadening. I'm going to leave it up to you.
Great.
Okay?
Yep.
Get on it.
A little tip, don't stick the big one in the middle, because then you have to do it all around it. Stick it to the side, like this panel, because otherwise now I have to like cut different shapes and sizes. It's like a puzzle.
So Dom's just asked the question regarding putting panels behind parts of the bodywork. So for example, in fact, you're in a better position to do it.
So here, for example, you've got exposed metal, but
Yeah.
then you've got something here. So do you just go?
Now, you can do that. However, you won't be able to get a good adhesive backing to it. So yes, it's possible. It's difficult, and you can't really get good adhesive backing with a roller. You could use another implement like a ruler or something else like that to try and get it in there to stick. But in reality, either side of that pillar is absolutely fine, because it's just a strip you're missing there. Okay. Bearing in mind the panel is bonded to the inside of the bodywork in multiple places, but what we will need, and you can manage it, is actually cutting a section and putting it up in this bit. So you've got to sort of negotiate yourself around this.
But do I cover this?
You can do, yeah, it's not a problem. You can cut round it.
all the way up here.
You can put that all the way up there, and then you'll need to make another bit to go from this ridge up as far as you can up into here.
Okay, cool.
Congratulations. First panel,
Yep.
1 cut. So you're one cut in. I don't know if you saw it on camera or whether you're going to keep it on camera, I don't know, but we are 1 plaster in so far. So yeah, that's something to be aware of. The edges of this, and also when you're sticking your hands down in the bodywork, just be very careful, because there are sharp bits and pieces. Maybe wear some gloves or other form of PPE. The large panels are quite simple. We're very, very happy on how to do them. Obviously, I did you over there, didn't I? I put a square in the middle and then expected you to do all the little puzzle around it. In reality, be efficient with your panels, see where they'll fit best.
And don't overlap.
I prefer not to overlap, because you put an excessive material on. You know, there's arguments for 100% coverage anyway, but if you overlap, but I didn't highlight that, so that's on me. I didn't say try not to overlap. You went and overlapped. That's on me, because I didn't explain or teach that properly. But well done on the rest of it. You've done as much as you can. And do you want to do the knock test from one side to the other?
Yes. So there you go.
Dead as a dodo, which is why it's called Deadening. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is the wheel arch. Now, there are arguments for and against sound deadening versus sound absorption products.
Okay.
So the liner is the sound absorption product. This is what we're going to use on this is a sound deadening product, because although this item of the body is ribbed for structure, it's ribbed for the structure of the vehicle, but also being ribbed much like the floor. A ribbed and curved panel like this doesn't resonate as much. So there's argument for sound deadening on that, or just putting liner on that. I'm very happy to see sound deadening on it, because again, the more you can put on it over and above what's from the factory, the better you can do. So this is what we're going to do. This is now dealing with curved items. And one of the points to note, well, first of all, you want to make sure your area's clean, free from grease, clean from dirt, etc., etc. And if it's not a warm day like it is today, if you haven't noticed, we're both getting quite warm doing this. If you're doing this in colder temperatures, it's worth having like a heat gun with you, or even a hairdryer if you don't have a heat gun, like a paint stripping gun, just to warm up the panel that you have, to make the glue a little tackier, makes the panel a bit more flexible, and even the surface that you're sticking to, if it's a cold day and that's super cold, you won't get the same adhesive properties. It prefers to be a bit warmer. Putting this panel on a wheel arch then will just make it all curved. Okay, so what you really want to do is almost plan out your cut if possible, so you can put the panel on here and curve it round without getting wrinkles, or alternatively you can cut it into strips. Okay, so that makes applying it easier. Again, a bit of a puzzle because you are going to be cutting small bits in and out.
So one strip, another strip.
You can do absolutely that. Okay. What myself and the guys tend to do is give ourselves a big area first by, and the dog's getting involved, hey Ron, is we can put like a panel here or a panel that way, so you can get rid of a huge surface area straight away. Right?
Okay, but how do you then, you mold it in?
Yes, so I'll do this now, so I can, let's say we'll plan this section here. What I'm going to do is make like a relief triangle cut there.
Okay.
Or I'll show you what I'll do first. I'm going to put that on here, make a cut here, and a cut. So there's cut number 1 there. And I'm going to put cut number 2 here. And I'm going to mock it up, so I can maybe lay these over slightly. All right.
Yep.
And I know for a fact I've got to maybe remove a little slither here and a little slither here. So when it comes to actually fitting that panel on there, it can conform to all the shapes of it and not overlap.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll peel that off now. You can tell how warm it is because that is really nice and soft and pliable and everything else.
And sticky.
And sticky, yes. This sticks like the proverbial to a blanket. It really, really does. It's almost a one fit, or one-time fit, so to speak. It's very hard to release. That's a good thing because once it's down, it's down. So that is now on there. If you could pass me the roller, please. We can go in and we can bend that to the shape that it needs to be. Right here. And wrinkles are fine. And again, that's why it's got the lines in it. And that's why you roller it, so you can compress it all down. If you get that bottom bit done, get the roller right in those creases. You can already see I didn't do as much of an overlap as I should have done, or a relief cut as I should have done. So I can go back in there with the knife, peel that away if needs be.
Do you fill up those little gaps or leave them?
I mean, again,
it
depends on how detailed you want to be. Little slithers like that aren't going to be a problem. However, we are going to be carpeting this. So if there's big dents and divots and bits missing, when you then go to carpet over it, you'll notice those missing pieces under the carpet, you know?
That's good to know.
So I'm going to try a slightly different method this time. And I've put the lines together first this end, and then I can spread this out after, save me doing more cutting. And then there you see it's got the wrinkles, but then you put the roller over it and it actually smooths those wrinkles right out. And you get right in there with the tool. So right up in there. And then any excesses where I don't want it applied, I can just slice it off because I haven't pressed that bit down too hard. And again, be careful with your fingers when you're pressing down, you don't want to cut. And there we go. Okay, so I've made relief cuts in there, little pie slices, pizza slices, whatever you want. Worth saving just the little bits to infill. So you pointed out this little bit before. I can make a tiny little slither if I want. And just pop it in there and fill the gap. Then once I go over the roller, it's nice and level and smooth. And there we go. And again, it's entirely up to you if you want to go for part coverage, 100% coverage, etc., etc. We tend to, all right, as a business and for our customers, we do what the customer asks. And reality, especially with this Dead Ezy product that's lighter, it's not a huge amount of weight. Obviously, if you've got a large, long wheelbase van with a certain axle weight, you need to be wary of that. But one box of Dodo, sound deadener, the Dead Ezy deadening material isn't going to make a huge amount of difference, okay? Bearing in mind what else you're going to be putting into the van, and then your luggage on top. But it is obviously beneficial to be wary of the weight you're putting in the van, and that may depend on the level of sound deadening you do. But in reality, if you've got all these areas exposed and you want to go ahead and do it, now's the time to do it, all right? So if you want to do that, maybe we can do like a little time-lapsey thing of you doing that, and then we'll get straight onto layer number 2, which is the liner, the 5mm liner. Okay. All right, happy?
Yep.
Smash on. So the next product then is the Dead Ezy liner.
Matches my
Matches your new plaster, yeah. It's a closed cell foam acoustic and thermal absorption blanket, basically. You know, we had the analogy of wrapping yourself up in a sleeping bag before. This is what it is. Again, entry-level stuff, but it's designed and formulated to be a very good product for both. Lighter than the other Dodomat products, cheaper than the Deaden core product line, and super easy to fit, really sticky. So if you get it on your fingers, be careful, because you will come out of here with black marks. So what we're going to do is mock it up, and you can see it's almost a perfect size for that window hole there. So what I'm going to do is roughly cut it out. So that's where I want to cut, about here with my finger, so I'll just make a rough mark there. Again, you can use the blade, or in this case I'm going to use some sharp scissors. And offer it back up, and then we can start trimming bits and pieces to fit. And a tip for the top, bearing in mind you've got a mirror image over there of the same panel. Once you've made this panel fit, use it as a template for the other side.
This panel is the same as this one, is it?
No, they're slightly different. See how this one slopes back slightly as the van slopes down at the back? So there's those two corners cut in. And all I need to do is just take off a little bit of those two corners. And then again, it's just peel and stick. I think I'm going to trim a little bit off the bottom there. It's just a touch too wide. Yeah? So, we're not actually doing the other side today. What we're doing today is we're going to show you all how to do this panel, or this side of the van. And what we're going to do, Domi and I are going to come by at the weekend. We'll film everything we do. It'll be a time lapse of everything we're doing here, but doing the rest of the van. And then in a couple of minutes, it'll be a couple of minutes to you, it'll be a couple of days to us, but in a couple of minutes you'll be able to see the end product, and then we'll do another test drive. So that's actually turned out just a little bit too wide, despite the measuring and the testing I did. So what I'm going to do is just get my knife and there's no harm in it sticking over like that, because we're going to be covering this bit anyway, but for the purposes of today I'm just going to slice that off. There you go, and you see how sticky that is. the remnants already left over. And there you go. You've just got to do this for 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now for bigger panels like this, and we'll just do a little demo, for panels that are like not very easy to access, I actually just cut strips because it's a lot easier to play with. You've only got to do one bit at a time and it's way easier to handle rather than try, and you can do that for the whole van really. But if I'm doing little strips at a time, you're not trying to manhandle a great big piece of sound deadening and getting it into a gap or crevice it's going to stick to everything. So there you go. First bit done. Thermal absorption and noise absorption. Cool. I think for this next stage, either cut strips or do that template like I just did, and then we'll bring you back when it comes to layer number 3. The final product then is the Dead Ezy Eco Fill, and that is a 35mm in thickness insulation quilt, and it's actually made from recycled plastic, which is really cool. It offers a safe, sustainable and cost-effective way to insulate your camper van. It contains 100% recycled polyester and is made almost of entirely recycled plastic. So arguably the most fun part, and probably the most beneficial in terms of the insulation side, is the Eco Fill. Now, those who have used Dodo before will realise that this is a thinner product. It is the Dead Ezy range, it is the more cost-effective range, but you can double it up if needs be. It's still providing excellent thermal qualities, even though it's not as thick as some of the others. And if you are concerned about it not filling the void, you can double it up, you could triple it up, and you can just stuff it in the holes. And there's a number of ways we can do this. I'm going to start with the top, and that is fitting it to size, or at least gauging that. And you can use scissors, you can use a knife, or you can just rip it to fit. Now, as explained, if I just put that there, it's going to fall down again. Or in the voids, if you stick it in there, over time, the van moving, you traveling, eventually it will slip down to the bottom of the panel. So what we tend to do is give, blocked nozzle. What we tend to do is just spray the panel with just a light coat of adhesive, and then you can spray the flat side, that's the side you want to stick to the van. Just a light coat of spray adhesive, pop it into position, and then just dink, on it goes. And I'm actually going to cover this metal part as well with the insulation, because in reality we want to fill this whole void, right? So
please note we are in an open space area with wide open door, that's why we don't wear protective mask.
In fact, it's that warm today, we're talking about getting the fans out as well, aren't we? Because it is very, very warm today. First day of summer and all that. And then this one here, can I rip this down the middle just as easy? No, it rips across nice and easy, but if you want to make it thinner, you just grab the scissors. And in this case, I think I'm just gonna, it's quite satisfying, eh? And we can save the other half of this
for the next one.
For the next side as well, right? Super. There you go. That goes in there like so.
So this one doesn't really need to be cut to size?
No, not in the same sense as the others, because you're trying to fill that void. Now, you're effectively done there. Look at that. Nice and easy, pop it in. All right, now that is your 3 layers of sound deadening and insulation using the Dead Ezy products. And the last bit is to just fill the voids. And basically, with the lower voids, you can literally just stuff it in there. Try and fill as much as you can. Don't overload it, because the area still needs to breathe. All right, there's lots of chat and discussion about vapor barrier and things like that. But what we have just done if people want to talk about vapor barriers to the outside world, we've just created a barrier to the vapor. Now, and again, this is a hot topic when it comes to van conversions, it's condensation inside of vans. You are never going to 100% completely get away from condensation on vans. Now that is obviously when you're warm inside, you're breathing vapor, or you know, there's always going to be humidity and vapor inside the vehicle, and the cold surface on the outside of the vehicle, water will condense on top of that. We're in a metal box, you're never going to get rid of it completely, but to prevent it as much as you can, you do put insulative layers like this thermoliner on, because you're creating a barrier between that cold surface and the interior warm surface of the van, right? And then you'll prevent as much condensation as possible. This obviously helps, and you don't put too much in, otherwise you'll get, the area won't be able to breathe, okay? So your job now is to put one layer of this inside, and if you want to double it up, please go ahead and do that as well. Okay. All right? Well, look at the state here for a start.
Hot,
You're absolutely
sticky,
covered in
covered, hot, sweaty.
Have you found it?
Good. It's a bit hot, but it's fine. The first layer is a bit tricky because you have to like.
The
it's
easy
like
line of deadening.
You need to like cut to size. This one probably is my favorite.
Nice and easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, layer number 2 is fine as well. You just need to be really careful because it is really sharp, and I hit my finger on this and I cut it, and I cut my finger with the product. But I'm getting stuck to stuff.
Yes.
But it's fun.
Don't wear your favourite clothes or your nicest outfit doing this job, that's for sure, or any of this.
No.
I think as a first time, you're doing a great job so far.
Good, thank you. No, it's you are a good teacher, so it's fine. I wouldn't know how to do it if I didn't learn from you.
Yeah.
I would probably just stick everything wherever.
So, you and I, we're going to do the rest of it in our own time. And that is going to be the same process for the ceiling, the sides, the doors, and we are going to time lapse and cover as much as we can. But in a few minutes you will see the finished product, and then we will do a test drive to see just how well it's turned out. Yeah? And we're not doing the floor in this process because you've got some new products to show you for the floor from us and the bits and pieces from Dodo. So yeah, look forward to that in a separate video. That was a big effort getting that done. Enjoy it?
Yes, I did. I mean, it was quite difficult, but yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't difficult. It's just time consuming, and you bend and you stick stuff and you get stuck and you cut your fingers. But other than that, it's fun.
I think you did a good job, especially for a first timer. Everything's covered. You've got no problems with that whatsoever, in my opinion. And in reality, it doesn't matter whether you make a seriously clean job of it or there's little bits stuck over the edges, whatever it might be, it effectively is doing the same job. You've since driven it.
Yes.
Improvement?
Oh, massive. Even when you close the sliding door, it's quieter now.
I've actually just noticed something you didn't do.
What didn't I do?
These doors.
You didn't tell me to those. Okay, well, we'll do it
We'll
on
have
the
to
weekend.
do those in another video, but yeah. So the sliding door closes nicely,
Yes.
but you haven't done the barn doors.
No.
Another day. Next time, next video, you will see that. Okay, so you reckon it's quieter. I think what we'll do now is cut to some footage we filmed earlier where I drove this van and we actually tried to record it on the decibel meter. It came out a little bit quieter, but you'll be able to see for yourself how different it sounds on the same, if not similar roads. Riding along in a much quieter, nicer environment. And we've not even sound deadened the cab or above our heads. Now you can still hear road noise, you can still hear the lumps and bumps we're going over, but just imagine yourself in a empty house and a room with no furniture. There's always a slight echo, and that's basically what we're doing here, or what's happening here. As you can see, we hadn't finished off the back of the van with fleece, That will get done once we finalise the routes for our electrics, our leisure electrics. We still haven't done that. But in terms of sort of phase 1 and phase 2 for the sound deadening and insulation, you have the Dead Ezy deadening panels, and you have the Dead Ezy liner, which is the closed cell foam, and it's reduced the resonation of those panels, it's reduced the noise over the wheel arches, and yeah, like I say, it's just made it a nicer place to be. And Dommy couldn't be happier either. She drives this van every day. She's been driving this van every day since we purchased it, and the one thing she has complained about is the level of noise. So yeah, I think what we'll do is continue our drive, and you can take a look in the back, and I believe Ali's got his little decibel meter, and again, this isn't a scientific measurement, because you'd need controlled environment, the same speed, the same tyres, the same road, just to get accurate readings for before and after. Yes, I watched Mythbusters as a young'un, and I know you need lots of different things to ensure an accurate and fair test for befores and afters and things like that. But yeah, take it from me, take it from Dom, it's a lovely, quiet place now. So we've just done the dual carriageway section. Again, you still get the noise, but we are in a tin box, but it's greatly reduced, and now we are in some residential areas / country lanes, you know, sort of suburban type areas, and the roads are generally worse, but again, much more comfortable. As you can tell then, it was a quieter journey, way happier with it. And bearing in mind, that's just the Ezy, the Dead Ezy product. That's not the regular product that we sell. The Ezy product, or the Dead Ezy product, is a cheaper, more affordable product, but it does a very similar job, and all the materials hold exactly the same properties. They're just a touch thinner. But if you are on more of a budget, then you can use the products, and they do a fantastic job, as you've heard. Next video, we are actually moving on to ply panels.
We are,
which
yes.
will be exciting. We sell the ply panels, we fit ply panels, and that's what we're going to be doing next video. It's not a particularly hard job, but there are things you need to look out for, and we'll be going through the different clips you can use. And then after that, hopefully we'll be doing the carpeting.
Yes.
There's lots of things going on in the background, because as of this point right now, we've got 6 more weeks until we go away.
Yes.
And in that time, we've got to sort out a solution for the roof, be it a tent or a pop top. We've got to get the interior, the bed, the floor, and the electrics. They're the main things we want to get achieved by the time we go away in August, because we've got most of the other bits and pieces, right? We're gonna have a little table, we've got that to do. We've got some interior trim pieces we want to sort out. We've got some exterior trim pieces we want to sort out, and some suspension mods as well.
Yes.
But they're not vital. They're just more of a stylistic thing. But I think you've done a fantastic job this video. Look forward to the next one. If you have enjoyed this video and you're looking forward to the rest of the series and want to catch it, please go and subscribe. I know we're going heavy on the like and subscribe on this video series, but it really doesn't cost you anything but a second of your time, and it really helps us out as a channel. And it means you can get notifications the next time one of our videos go live, and you can complete this build. In the meantime, we have had some questions regarding the 2K T5. We have some news on that. It is up and coming, so don't go too far, because we have some updates on that moving forward, and lots of other projects and things going forward as well. So well done. Thanks very much for watching. Any last words?
No, just build your dream camper van with us.
There you go. Cool. See you next time. Bye bye.